with Queen Shabbat Hamalka. Chachama merosh ha'ilanot nistalka bo'u v'neitzeh likrat Shabbat Hamalka hinei yoredet hakdosha habrucha ve'imam malachim sebashalom nucha bo'ui bo'ui hamalka bo'ui bo'ui hakala shalom aleichem malachei hashalom. The sun on the treetops no longer is seen. Come gather to welcome the Sabbath, our Queen. Behold her descending, the holy, the blessed, and with her the angels of peace and of rest. Draw near, and here abide. Draw near, O Sabbath bride. Peace also to you, you angels of peace. We wish you a happy March and Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. And I want you to take note of your exits. We have an emergency exit right here in the back, and past our partition door is our emergency exit. And if you need the restrooms, they are to the right of the mosaic. If you've hit the kitchen, you've gone too far. So we are going to continue welcoming in Shabbat with our candle blessings on page 2. It is my great pleasure to welcome up the Schottenfels family. Yes, you too. You're married. You can come up together because you love each other. Nobody believes you. Sorry. Page 2 in our prayer books. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Toda Rabah, thank you so much. We continue in our prayer books on page 7. We read responsively. Where has this week vanished? Is it lost forever? Will I ever recover anything from it? The joy of life, the unexpected victory, the realized hope, the task accomplished. Will I ever be able to banish the memory of pain, the sting of defeat, the heaviness of boredom? On this day, let me keep for a while what must drift away. On this day, let me be free of the burdens that must return. On this day, Shabbat abide. Help me to withdraw for a while from the flight of time, contain the retreat of the hours and days from the grasp of frantic life. Let me learn to pause, if only for this day. Let me find peace on this day. Let me enter into a quiet world this day. On this day, Shabbat abide. We continue in our prayer books on page 13. with Ya'alo Sadai. So you'll find it, it's 4 lines up from the bottom. And as I can feel spring, I can feel it, it's almost here. And so we sing about the trees dancing. Ya'alo Sadai bechol asher bo, Ya'alo Sadai, ay, 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 and it repeats, Ya'alo Sadai bechol asher bo, Ya'alo Sadai, ay, 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 ay. Second part. Az Yiranenu kol hatzayar, Az Yiranenu kol hatzayar, Az Yiranenu kol hatzayar, Az Yiranenu kol hatzayar, Ya'alo Sadai bechol asher bo, Ya'alo Sadai, ay, 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 Ya'alo Sadai bechol asher bo, Ya'alo Sadai, ay, 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 ay. Az Yiranenu kol hatzayar, Az Yiranenu kol hatzayar, Az Yiranenu kol hatzayar, Az Yiranenu kol hatzayar, Ya'alo Sadai bechol asher bo, Ya'alo Sadai, ay, 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 Ya'alo Sadai bechol asher bo, Ya'alo Sadai, ay, 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 ay. Az Yiranenu kol hatzayar, Az Yiranenu kol hatzayar, Az Yiranenu kol hatzayar, Az Yiranenu kol hatzayar, Ya'alo Sadai bechol asher bo, Ya'alo Sadai, ay, 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 Ya'alo Sadai bechol asher bo, Ya'alo Sadai, ay, 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 ay. We welcome the Sabbath Bride with Lecha Dodi on page 20 and 21. We're going to be doing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabelai, Lecha Dodi likrat kala b'nei Shabbat nekabelai. Am segula boi chala boi chala. Please be seated. We continue with the Chatzi Kaddish on page 26 in our prayer books. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah be'alma divrach chirutei ve'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayei techol beit Yisrael bagala bagala u'bizman karim ve'imru amen Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lamei amaya yitbarach yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitbar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitala shmei dekudesha b'richu le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma ve'imru amen. Please rise for the Baruch Hu on page 28. Baruch Hu et Adonai hamevorach Baruch Adonai hamevorach le'olam va'ed. We read together at the top of page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Together on page 32. Everlasting love, you offered your people Israel by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai, our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Shema Adonai Echad. לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם emet. On page 41. Sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, a earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace. Mi chamocha. We read together at the bottom of page 43. Give us a place to rest, Adonai, our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. We move to the Vishamru on page 44, and we find these words in this week's Torah portion, that we keep Shabbat, this wonderful Shabbat. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם בברית העולם. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם בברית העולם. V'ni uven b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם בברית העולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית העולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם בברית עולם. Page 47. Prayer invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. We rise for the Amidah on page 46. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei HaKol, V'zocher chastei avot ve'imahot, u'mevii geula livnei b'neihem, lema'an shemo be'ahava, melech ozer u'moshia u'magen. Baruch atah Adonai, magen Avraham be'ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, mechayei hakol atah rab lehoshia. Mahashiv haruach umorid hagashem, mechalkel chayim bechesed, mechayei hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofei cholim, umatir asurim, umekayem emunato, lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al geburot, umido melech, melech meimi mechayeh umatzmiach Yeshua v'ne'eman ata lahachayot hakol. Baruch ata Adonai mechayeh hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh ukroshim bechol yom yehallelucha selah. Baruch ata Adonai ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. Page 54. You set aside the seventh day for your name, the pinnacle of creation, and you blessed it above all other days, more sacred than all festival times. So it is written in your Torah, the heaven and the earth were finished in all their array. On the seventh day, God had completed the work that had been done, ceasing on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. Then God blessed the seventh day and made it holy, and ceased from all their creative work that God had chosen to do. Our God and God of our ancestors, be pleased with our rest. Sanctify us with your mitzvot and grant us a share in your Torah. Satisfy us with your goodness and gladden us with your salvation. Purify our hearts to serve you in truth. Your gracious love, Adonai, our God, grant as our heritage your holy Shabbat, that Israel, who sanctifies your name, may rest on it. Praise to you, Adonai, who sanctifies Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat. We read together at the top of page 59. God of goodness, we give thanks for the gift of life, wonder beyond words, for the awareness of the soul, our light within, for the world around us so filled with beauty, for the richness of the earth which day by day sustains us. For all these and more we offer thanks. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulcha na'eh lehodot. We continue with our prayer for peace, Shalom Rav, on page 60. An abundant peace, the great peace, Rav, Shalom Rav, that great peace. And may it come just a little bit sooner and closer this Shabbat. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Omcha Tasim Le'olam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Omcha Tasim Le'olam. Ki ata now take a moment for silent prayer and reflection, either the prayers on the page or the prayers of your heart. May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable to you, my God, my rock and my Redeemer. We now move in our prayer books to page 258, a prayer for our country. And we'll read together at the bottom of the page. O guardian of life and liberty, may our nation always merit your protection. Teach us to give thanks for what we have by sharing it with those who are in need. Keep our eyes open to the wonders of creation and alert to the care of the earth. May we never be lazy in the work of peace. May we honor those who have died in defense of our ideals. Grant our leaders wisdom and forbearance. May they govern with justice and compassion. Help us all to appreciate one another and to respect the many ways that we may serve you. May our homes be safe from affliction and strife, and may our country be sound in body and spirit. Amen. We move to our prayer for Israel. Avinu Shebashamayim on 259.
Sheba Shamayim.
as we move to these prayers, from these prayers of peace, we think of those who are in need of healing of mind and body and spirit. And so we think of these people in our circles of concern, Annie and Barbara Becker, Joe Crane, Carol DeVore, Roz Fink, Beth Fodel, John Hoffman, Rachel Hoffman, Howard Katz, we're so glad you're here, Carol Rabinowitz, Yisrael Ben Shlomo, Jim Silverman, Gloria Zytek, Roberta Wolf, Dan Zimmerman, Leah Bat Sima, Michal Bat Leah, Leba Elka Bat Shia, Zissel Kala Bat Pearl Leba, Tzvi Ben Chana, Aaron Yinkel Ben Esther, Binyamin Shimon Ben Gitzal, Ita Bat Devorah, Yehoshua Naphtali Ben Chana, Ehud Ben Gila, Rivka Bat Ita, Yosef Ben Ita, Itzak Ben Ita, Eliyahu Ben Furman Ruchel, Bracha Bat Chayasara, Kalev Ben Kela, Sir Bat Bracha, Naomi Chava Bat Ma'ayan, Yochanan Naphtali Ben Chaim Asher Yerachmiel, Sol Ben Sarah, Leah Bat Shifra, Cholea Bat Rachel Leah, Michael Golub, Brad Hummel, Harriet Stone, Bill Masterson, Andy Beater, Michael Ben Tzvi Halevi, Mark Siegel, Ludmilla Kramer, Yisrael Ben Fega, Carol Doktrow, Shmuel Tzvi, Lavi Bat Tova, Tova Bat Basha, Michal Acharona Bat Dina Fega, Devorah Bat Simcha, Max Schuster, Steve Harrison, Clint Willis, Marlene Margulies, Frederick Stevenson, Saul Ben Avraham, and Cindy was here, Cindy Victor. And so to those names, we add corrections or names to add. Please do so.
Rachel Bat Leah. Grace.
I'm going to add the Gold Girls.
Paul. Arnold Blank.
And so we take all of those into our hearts as we sing Misha Berach together. And don't forget to take just a little bit of that healing for yourself this Shabbat. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha La'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. Imagine you are on a You've left on vacation, you're sitting on a beach drinking a fruity tropical drink of your choice. Hello to all of our TKA friends in Florida right now. It's a perfect getaway, you're all relaxed. And you come home to find your house trashed by your teenagers or your pets. They decided to throw a party while you were gone. You're angry to find your house a mess just after this wonderful vacation. I imagine this is a little bit of how Moshe feels coming home off Mount Sinai. He had this incredible holy experience with God on the mountain. He gets the 2 tablets, and just for being one day late, the Israelites have a huge party with a golden calf and fall back into idol worship. Must have been a rager. God is angry, Moses is angry, and in a fit, Moses destroys the tablets, smashes them to bits, and then has to go back up the mountain and do it all over again. Usually, the teenagers or the pets are grounded, and eventually there's forgiveness. In the case of the Israelites, their punishment was Moses made them drink the ground up gold from the golden calf, and then God sends a plague after that. Moses' punishment for breaking the tablets is fair because God wrote the tablets the first time, and Moses has to go back up the mountain, and now he has to write them for himself. So why does Moses break the tablets? Midrash says that Moses broke the tablets to save Israel from God's wrath, reasoning if Israel hadn't yet received the laws, they couldn't be expected to keep them. Oh God, they didn't know. Another Midrash says that Moses sought to deflect some of God's anger onto himself. When he realized that there was no future hope for Israel, he linked his own fate with theirs and broke the tablets so that God would have to save them in order to forgive him. Moses wants God to forgive all the Israelites. The rabbis, interestingly enough, counted the days in the Torah from leaving Exodus in Egypt and up till this point, and the rabbis say, oh, this has to have happened on the 10th of Tishrei. And we know the 10th of Tishrei is Yom Kippur. So in this Torah portion, God tells Moses, Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum V'Chanun, Erech Apayim V'Rav Chesed V'Emet, Notzer Chesed La'alafim, Nosei Avon V'Afesha V'Chata'a V'Naker. Adonai, Adonai, a God compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, abounding in kindness and faithfulness, extending kindness to the 1,000th generation, forgiving iniquity, transgression, and sin. Words that we say over and over again at high holidays. God is a little self-congratulatory in this moment. It's like, look at me, look at how wonderful I am. But it's also a formula for how to pray to God when we've sinned. This is the key, right? If we want forgiveness, say these magic words. 3 times in this Torah portion, though, God and Moses say, we are a stiff-necked people. And they must be thinking, will these people ever learn? They are stubborn. And I think of it literally, right? If a person is stiff-necked, they can't move their neck, which means they're stuck in one position. Stiff-necked can also mean haughty or pig-headed or difficult to lead like a mule. And there are many situations in our daily lives when we come upon a stiff-necked people. I find myself getting madder and madder at NPR every time I turn on the radio. It is a constant litany of Gaza, Gaza, Gaza. I'm feeling a little bit like Jan Brady with Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. It's so biased, it's unbelievable. In the past week, when I've listened to the radio, they have not mentioned the hostages once. I would love nothing more than to return the chairs in the back of our sanctuary to just regular blue chairs. But the hostages are not free, and so the chairs remain. And I'm not ready to forgive the NPR reporters for being stiff-necked in not turning their heads to look at all the sides of this issue. I'm still going to have this righteous anger because there cannot be forgiveness until the war is over, and the war will not be over until the hostages are free. Dr. Allison Cook said, "True forgiveness is about releasing any hatred and resentment in your heart toward the person that has hurt you. But I think that happens after the accountability." God and Moses both have that righteous anger at the golden calf. They hold the Israelites accountable with their punishment, but they don't hold a grudge. You coming home to find your house trashed by your teenagers or your pets, they're held accountable, usually by being grounded, but we try not to hold a grudge about it. So when the hostages are free, because I think that they will be at some point, and when the war is over, I will have forgiveness for those reporters, but not right now. In our meetings at work or volunteers, have we listened to those around us or just been stubborn in our way, not looking at other ways? We might be angry, but do we let the anger go when we've left the meeting? Or do we hold the grudge against those we interact with? In regards to our political climate, both Republicans and Democrats will say the other is stubborn. I ask that you ask yourself, have I been stiff-necked? Have I listened to those around me? At the end, maybe you don't agree, but we need to listen because we're also not right 100% of the time. During our high holidays, it says, "Who can say I am perfect and have not sinned?" In our Torah, the whole of the Israelites sinned, even Moses. No one is perfect. So when we have interactions in our daily lives, and a lot of them won't be so egregious as the golden calf, but with the stubborn and stuck people, I have a couple of options to help. And it's not easy, but Google helped. So, option 1. If someone is difficult or rude, don't feed the flame. Try and resist it. In the wise words of rapper Ice Cube, check yourself before you wreck yourself. Sometimes it's better to walk away. Option 2, try to see it from their perspective. It also helps us not be stiff-necked, right? We're seeing it from all perspectives. Option 3, know your sphere, what you can change and what you can't. Option 4, smile, right? At least take one positive from the situation. And after you've tried all the options, then maybe think about forgiveness. It can deepen relationships and connections and open up communication. Karen Schwartz of Johns Hopkins did a study and found that the act of forgiveness can reap huge rewards for your health, lowering the risk of heart attack, improving cholesterol levels, sleep, reducing pain, blood pressure, levels of anxiety, depression, and stress. Shameless plug for Bagels and Basics. Dr. Fisher is going to be helping us with our sleep this Sunday. And research points to an increase in forgiveness health connection as you age. Chronic anger puts you in fight or flight mode, which results in numerous changes in heart rate, blood pressure, and immune response. Forgiveness, however, calms stress levels and leads to improved health. When Moses releases the anger, he goes back up to Mount Sinai and has this holy moment with God. He sees God's presence. He wrote the second set of tablets. He comes down from the mountain, and the Torah says he is radiant. He's filled with Karan. Would he have been as radiant if he were still holding the grudge against the Israelites? If he was still holding on to that anger? Side note, this is where the idea that Jews have horns comes from, because the verb karan means to shine or radiate, and it also means to display and grow, and it's used usually in the verb with rams to display their horns, and so this is where that idea comes from. The Torah says, though, that Moses was so radiant that they had to put a veil over his face because the Israelites couldn't look at him. So think about when you last saw someone who was glowing. For me, it was recently. I looked out at Mike and Miriam Leary in the front row during Finn becoming a bar mitzvah, and Finn was chanting the Amidah and glowing. You were glowing with pride and joy and love. And so we can feel all of that in these holy moments, but only when we're not stiff-necked, when we're open to these deeper moments. We strive to be slow to anger and quick to forgive with the stubborn people in our daily lives. May we be open to deeper connections with the wonder of the people and the world around us. And let us say, Amen. We rise now for closing prayers with Aleinu on page 282. And you have risen, so thank you. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'teit gidula le'onser bereshit, shelo asanu kigoyei ha'aratzot, velo samanu k'nishbachot ha'adama, shelo sam chalkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, u'mishachamim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai, lemelech al kol ha'aretz, v'yom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. Please be seated. It is a fearful thing to love what death can touch. A fearful thing to love, hope, dream, to be and oh, to lose. A thing for fools this, and a holy thing to love. For your life has lived in me, your laugh once lifted me, your word was gift to me. To remember this brings a painful joy. 'Tis a human thing, love, a holy thing to love what death has touched. We mourn the losses in the last 30 days for our members and friends and family and all the victims of violence here and around the world. We remember Michael Kelmanson, Sharon Napow, Sue Farber, Arthur Robbins, James Stegman, Tracy Taub, and Harvey Nussbaum. On the yearly anniversary of death this week, the yard site, we remember Sylvia Bair, Hilda Bragenheim, Lucy Cohen, Miles Davidson, Hyman Gittleman, Barbara Goldsmith, Donald Halper, Rose Holmes, Maxwell Klugerman, Joseph Lipschitz, James McIntyre, Edward Menzer, Edward Saul, Morris Simons, and B.I. remembers Yetta Langfelder, Morris Katz, Ann Dunson, Lillian Ruskin, Doris Barahal-Trone, Henry Citron, and Arlene Beals. And to those names we remember.
Sammy Lysenstaff.
And so we say of them all, Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing as we rise from Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yitzkadal v'yitzkadash shemei rabbah, be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei rabba mevarach le'alam ulamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei dekudesha barichu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata b'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, Mechayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, Amen. Please be seated. Announcements tonight are brought to you by A.B. Klein.
Thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you to Donna for ushering and to Henry for streaming. Janet, a lovely service. Tonight is our first Friday Shabbat dinner. We will meet at New Mandarin Garden following our services. All are welcome to join. Join us for our next Bagels and Basics this Sunday, March 3rd at 10:30. The topic is going to be a discussion on sleep and sleep deprivation with guest speaker and member Dr. Stephen Fisher. If you have questions, you can ask him after. Saturday, March 9th at 7:30, join TKA and BI for Bake Cafe, Coffee House Havdalah, and music. The evening will feature Janet Christensen and Frank Elias. The cost is $10 per person. Tuesday, March 12th at 3:30 is the next meeting of our Lively Current Events group led by David Heiger. Participants will have the option to join online. Please email the office to register. The Current Events group will meet every other Tuesday from 3:30 to 4:30 at Temple Kolami. Join us on Friday, March 15th at 6 p.m. for Membership Shabbat. We will celebrate our newest members and have dinner prior to our 7 p.m. service. The cost is $18 per person. And save the date for Purim 2024 on Sunday, March 17th from 10:30 to noon. Join us for an amazing Purim carnival, including bounce houses, face painting, food, and games. Be sure to bring your family and friends. See the flyer with pricing in the weekly email. If you have any questions about the above events or to RSVP, please contact the Temple office. Shabbat Shalom.
It is my pleasure to welcome up Mike and Miriam Leary to help with the Kiddush and Motzi this evening. We turn to page 5 in our prayer books. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratza banu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher litziat mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim. And we uncover our challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. B'tei avon. Thank you so much. Our closing song this evening is found on page 328, Mipiel, because we get the Torah in this week's Torah portion. Mipiel, Mipiel, Yevorach kol Yisrael. Mipiel, Mipiel, Yevorach kol Shabbat Shalom. Please join us for a kosher oneg in the lobby.